Good morning, everyone. The webinar will be starting at 11 a.m. Central Time. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jay Tonsger, and I am the marketing coordinator for resortsandlodges.com and Track Hospitality Software. Today, we have a great presentation in store for everyone from Doug Kennedy of the Kennedy Training Network. Here are some quick reminders. The webinar is being recorded and will be shared online within 24 hours of broadcast. If we have time, questions will be taken at the end of the webinar. As you know, resortsandlodges.com is one of the leading travel websites for independent properties and hospitality companies. Resortsandlodges.com also offers digital marketing solutions including pay-per-click, search engine optimization, website development, and email marketing. Track Hospitality Software, which includes Track Pulse and Track PM, is our all-in-one guest communication cloud for hospitality properties. Doug has been a regular contributor to the hotel and lodging industry's most prominent publication since 1996. And we're excited for him to be able to share more than 2 decades of industry experience with all of you. Today's webinar will be about using the value pyramid to sell the overall experience, not just rent rooms. So without further ado, here's Doug Kennedy with using the value pyramid to sell overall experiences, not just rent rooms.
Well, thank you very much, Jay, and thanks to everyone for joining us today. I know we have a lot of resorts and vacation rental companies throughout North America here, so I'm sure you're coming off, well, let's hope, a successful end to a fantastic summer season. You know, business has been good in most regions that I travel to, so let's be thankful for that. But now we still have maybe a little life left in the summer season for the next couple of weeks. Those of you in mountain areas, turn your attention to fall colors. Beach areas that are more in the northern areas start to think about 2019. But regardless, I appreciate you carving out time today for joining us for this webinar. Some of you have been with me throughout, 3 years now, Jay. I believe we've been doing the webinars for our sponsor, Track Pulse, Track Hospitality Software in Resorts and Lodges. But we do maybe a 30 to 45-minute get-togethers at least once a month. And then a couple of times a year, we open it up to the industry. So if you join us on a regular basis, you know that a lot of the themes do recur. But today, we're going to touch on some of the points we've covered in the past, but we're going to look specifically at the value pyramid, or if you're a hotel, the hotel value pyramid. We'll adapt that for resorts, alternative lodging, which we have a lot of those, cabin rentals, we have B&Bs, core resorts, and then of course vacation rental. So we hope it brings value. A couple things I do want to mention. If you're watching, you can either watch, there should be a small box with me presenting live with the slides behind me. You can enlarge that and watch it that way, or shrink me down and put me on the side and watch the screen share, whichever shows up better on the device you're joining us with. So before we talk about the value pyramid, we want to look first at what are the most frequently asked questions that we hear these days. So calls come in, a lot of times it's going to go straight to reservations, or maybe you go through a front desk call. But most of us, regardless of where I go, in fact, worldwide, even training internationally for our many clients around the world, it seems the #1 question is some version of these. So let's see if you can check them out. Either, hi, what are your rates? Or, hello, do you have something available? If so, what is the price? So we know traditionally people have questions about price for any type of industry. That's one thing that hasn't changed back to years ago when I started in the hospitality training field, offering reservations, which is still one of our top 3 topics today. It didn't even change back from when I worked in hotels years ago prior to that. But what's different today is they already know the price. The vast majority have been online prior to calling, or they're online while they're on the phone. So if they're at a desktop or their laptop, they're looking online and they're on their phone. If they're calling from their smartphone, they go online on their app, then they search up the phone number, then they click to call. So they already know the price, okay? So why are they calling us? Well, if all we do, if we give back the price, we're really not helping them, okay? We know that these people right here are some many examples of folks who have looked online and then placed that phone call in various situations. She's calling for pet friendly because she loves that dog. But they want to know the price. Now, if you've ever been to any kind of sales training in any industry, not just lodging, what is the #1 rule they always teach you? Do not sell price. Customers always want to know about price, but if all we do is get price, we're not advancing the sales. If we're selling price, a couple of things. First of all, you better have the lowest price. And I don't care what kind of hotel, resort, alternative lodging you are, there's always somebody selling for less. And if all we're doing is selling price, we might as well hang it up, folks. Because if all we do is we go and say, okay, checking availability for those dates, here's the price, okay? Guess what? They're not going to need us very much longer to do these jobs. And I hope you like your job, because I need you to have your job, because as long as you have a job, then I have a job too, training you. And I need my job, okay? I have a daughter that's starting her 3rd year at Fordham University, and a son just starting last week in the hospitality program at Valencia College in Orlando, okay? So I know I need my job, and I think you probably need your job. But if all we do is give a price, we are not advancing the reservations conversations, okay? Rule #1 in sales, do not give price. Most of them are not going to say, hello, will you please help convince me to stay at your resort and tell me why it's best? That's not the way it goes down, okay? Today, they think they know everything, but they really just want to double check the rates. All right. And if all we do is give that price, then we're selling price. And pretty soon our jobs will be replaced. I promise you, because there's 3 ladies right here who want our jobs. I don't know if you know these 3 women. They're after our jobs. Actually, there's 4 now. We have, of course, Alexa, we have Siri, and we have Cortana. Okay, so maybe you've met them. I have the Samsung phone. Okay, so I have a 4th lady here, and her name is Bixby, and she's very annoying. Okay,
Hi, I'm Bixby.
there she is right there, and she wants your job. Okay, and essentially they want all of our jobs. Now they're already in Silicon Valley. They're working on the technology for what's called AI, artificial intelligence. If you call up most major hotel brands today, Siri's cousin, okay, I don't know if it's Siri, but it's her first cousin. She answers the phone and she says, "Hello, thank you for calling Brand X Brand. Please tell me the city and state which you're traveling to. What are your dates?" And then she passes you to a reservation agent. And that person says, "Okay, and checking availability for your dates. Here's the price. You want to book it? You sure you don't want to book it? You want to book it? Come on, book it." Okay, it's not going to be long before they connect the dots, and that person now that's saying, "You want to book it? Here's the price," will be all the way talked through by Siri, Cortana, Alexa, and Bixby. All right. So what we want to do is go beyond that. We want to put the human touch back in the hospitality space. We want to use technology. That website really is like your visual aid tool. It's your tool to let them see everything. But when we have them call, we do not want to just sell price. If we do that, we're going to be a race to the bottom. Okay. The hotels certainly have revenue managers. A lot of vacation rental companies are increasingly sophisticated in revenue management. They call this a race to the bottom. Okay. So if you're selling price, you better have the lowest price, and you're going to be selling a race to the bottom for revenue. So what we want to try to do is get the conversation away from price to talk about what makes us unique, what makes our resort unique, what makes our vacation homes unique. Okay, it is not what's inside the 4 walls, or 8 walls, or 16 walls, or 24 walls if you're selling a vacation home. It is the destination that you're selling. Okay, but we forget that part. We forget how beautiful our areas are that we live in. We want to sell destination, location. We want to sell the amenities, the services in the accommodation at the resort, and also outlets if you're a full service resort at the resort, or hotels. If you're a vacation rental or a B&B or alternative lodging, you want to sell the outlets nearby. Okay, so what is that cool crab shack or that mountain barbecue place where you can eat real buffalo? Or where can you do a boat rental? Where can you go on a balloon ride? So we want to sell all of those things, sell the experience, then the room, suite, or vacation home. All right. But as a matter of fact, this is how people are selling today. So we have a staff, probably 15 people in a given day, that do telephone mystery shopping. Now, a lot of you have, of course, the track pulse, which is fantastic for being able to listen to and record your own calls. And I know that we also have the resorts and lodges people. Maybe you haven't taken that step yet, but I highly suggest you get on the demo and talk to the folks at Track about that, because then you get to hear real calls. I can tell you in the telephone mystery shopping business, for the people who do not have other call recordings, that and probably it's all the companies not on this webinar. So I know I am preaching to the choir, because you guys are already enlightened enough to carve out 30, 45 minutes of the day after Labor Day weekend to join Doug Kennedy. But the rest of our industry right now are selling price. Person calls up and say, "Hi, what's your price? What's your rates?" Or, "Hello, checking rate. Do you have anything available? Just need to check the rate." "Okay, thanks, bye." Click. All right. What those agents are doing, they're selling price. They're treating the call as what I call website search support. What I mean by that is they're treating their job as being kind of a tech support job for somebody who can't figure out how to search rates themselves at the website. All right. But most people know how to do that. Okay. So if all we do is give price, we're having a race to the bottom. We're not really doing anything to advance the conversation. All right. And ultimately, we're building our value pyramid on a very weak foundation. Let me just move my screen over here so I can see what I'm showing you a little bit better. So if we're selling price alone, we're building our value pyramid on a very weak foundation. And if you've ever been to any sales training for any other industry outside of hospitality or lodging, you know, rule number one, do not sell price. Do not lead with price. The customers always want to know about the price, but you want to encourage a conversation about value. All right. So how do we do that? We do that by getting our PowerPoint clickers to work, right? The problem is not with your trainer. We're having technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Please bear with this webinar. We do that by engaging people in the conversation. And if we ask the right question, it allows us to unmask the caller's story. So we take them from here, the generic, hello, I'm just checking the price. Okay, well, here's the price. All right, well, thank you. Okay, have a good day. And instead, we find out there's a real live human being behind that reservations call. I call this unmasking the caller, okay? And so I'm going to share with you now, and again, I apologize if I have been repetitive. This is repetitive. If you have joined me for the last 3 years off and on, I think I talk about this in almost every webinar. Engage them with questions. This is why at KTN, our reservations training is called Quest, because the key today is to ask questions. We want to figure out, who are you and why are you calling me? Okay, now please don't come out of this webinar and say, hey, yeah, what'd you get from Doug's webinar? Oh, he wants us to go and say, who are you and why are you calling me? Okay, that's really not what I'm trying to say. What we want to do, though, is figure out who they are and why are they calling? Why do they not book online? Ladies and gentlemen, they're already planning 2019, some of them, but it's 2018 and people are not supposed to call anymore, okay? They're not supposed to call because everything is available online. If you were to ask anybody in their right mind in the year 2000 or the year 2010 or the year 2013, with everything we have online today, do you think anybody will still call? When we all carry around a smartphone in our pocket that has the power of computing the same as probably, I don't know, 2010 or certainly the year 2000. So why do they call? All right. So that's what we want to figure out. Okay. And if we figure out who they are and why they're calling, then we know, are they the rate double checker? Okay. And if they're the rate double checker and all we do is give a price, hello, I just want to know your rate. Here's the price. Okay, thanks, bye. They're going to hang up and they're going to book us, hopefully. However, they might hang up and book somebody else. Now, even if they book us, they might book us through an OTA, an online travel agency. Okay, and I know resorts know about this because you know how costly those channels are. At Resorts and Lodges and Track, we have a lot of independents, so you're paying premium commissions to Booking.com, to Expedia's, to Orbitz, all the others, okay, to get that booking to come in. And chances are you're probably in rate parity, meaning the rate there is the same as the rate you're quoting. But if all you do is give a price, they're going to hang up, they're going to quote, they're going to book that. All right. Secondly, we might have a chance, so we have a chance to engage them. But what we want to do is go beyond what I call website search support. Website search support is where we ask these questions here. So pretty much what we need to check inventory in our property management system or our CRS. What are your arrival and departure dates? Okay, there's a right and wrong way to ask these. I'm just going to go through them real quick. Do not say what are your dates. We want to say when are you arriving and departing. Do not say how many people. We want to find out how many adults and children, particularly in the resort business. Okay, and we do not want to say how many beds. We want to say if you prefer a king size, a room with a king, or 2 double beds, or how many bedrooms if you're in the vacation business. So we want to ask those questions, but some of the probably again the resorts and the companies not on this webinar, the ones that only give back a price, all they do is ask these questions, click enter, and they read the rates that come up. All right. So we still want to ask, have you stayed with us before? We want to ask, what brings you to town? Are you celebrating anything special? But the most important question is, as I'm checking those dates, is there any questions I can answer for you about our location, amenities, or services? And that, folks, is why the reason I've recapped that, ladies and gentlemen, is because that gives us now a chance to then go and sell the value pyramid. So I really couldn't cover the hotel value pyramid model without recapping how we get there, okay? What we don't want to do is when they say, hello, I'm checking your rate. Oh, well, before I give you a price, I got to read this little statement here that tells you about my location. We are centrally located in a resort area with exquisite views. It is a fantastic place for a vacation here at the resort. We have a restaurant and a bar and a pool and an indoor pool and a game room. And the rate is, that's not what we got to do. We got to ask questions first to figure out, who are you? Why are you calling me? Okay, so please take a screen cap of this, take a picture, or just watch the video. But the most important question is, as I'm checking availability, any questions I can answer for you. All right, so now we have opened the door and we have a chance to do our job. We can be that friendly, smiling, helpful person, okay? And what's going to happen is you're now, hopefully, they're going to have a question and you're going to get a chance to sell value, okay? Now, the reality is a lot of people say, at this point, what they say is they simply say, no, I'm good, just tell me the price. Okay, fine. But you've planted the seed that you're here to help them. And at minimum, you're showing interest in assisting them. So as I'm checking availability, is there any questions I can answer for you? Oh, actually, I'm good. I just wanted to double check the price. When you give that price, odds are they're going to say, actually, you know what? I do have a question. What's your name again? Douglas? Are you actually there? Oh, really? Well, actually, I do have a question. And you get a chance to have a conversation. But even if you don't, even if they do not have questions, at minimum, we show, hey, I'm here to help you. And now, a few seconds later in the call, when you say, so yes, this is the rate, man, secure it for you, the odds are much better. They're going to say, you know what? I'm going to put down this device and I'm going to book it with you. And that helps your company. That helps your resort. At minimum, we get the reservation right now. So we do not have the chance that they go to someone else's website. On top of that, we get the reservation directly. So they do not go to an online travel agency and cost our company a lot of money. Okay. So that's what we want to do. Now, the value pyramid, the topic of the webinar, 15 minutes in, I know I'm just getting there. However, you can't get there if you don't ask questions. If you don't ask questions, it sounds like a script. All right, so the value pyramid is a model that we have for, if we ask the right questions, we know exactly where to start. All right, so first we have our repeat guests. Now these folks, they already know the location, the amenities, the services. All we have to do here is we have to just top this off because they have visited our destination. They have been to our location. They have experienced our amenities, our services, our outlets. They've gone to the spa. They swam in the pool. They've golfed on the golf course. They've played tennis. They've gone skiing down the mountain. They've gone boating on the lake. Let's see, did I leave anybody out? They've gone hiking through the woods. So in this case, we sell a room or suite. All right. Now, right now, those are the ones you guys are going, oh, yes. Have you stayed with us before? Yes, I have. Yes. Easy sale, get my numbers up. I'm going to be #1. I'm getting that incentive this month. Yes. Right. But these callers here need our help a little bit more. We love those ones that already know what they want. But we start to help our company more when we sell the person in these next two scenarios. This individual, oh, they've been to our destination and our location, but they've never actually stayed with us. For these callers, we're going to start in the mid-level. All right, so they already know our city, our town, our resort area, our community. They probably have some idea of where we're located, but now we have to sell what's unique about us. Are there any amenities? Are there services? Are there any special outlets? Or is there something we could say to make that restaurant next door? Or where's a good place to rent a boat? Or what's the best option for a kid's ski camp? We can sell those things in a way that's personalized, and then of course sell the room, the suite, or the vacation. All right, so they require a little extra effort. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share with you the most important call, which is the person who has not stayed with us before. And these are the ones that need a little more hand-holding. All right, So these callers have never even been to the destination. And these are the ones where we want to give relevant details about all three levels in order to sell the overall experience and not just rent a room, a suite, or a home. All right. So if we say, hey, as I'm checking availability, are there any questions I have for you? They might start off and say, actually, yes, where are you located? And instead of saying, oh, we're at 4101 Overseas Highway Drive, okay, or whatever it is, Mountain Road, all right? I'm trying to relate to everybody on the call. If you just give your address, that means nothing. But instead, we ask another question. Where are we located? Oh, sure. How familiar are you with our area? And now you engage them in a conversation. Yes, it takes a little more time, but now we convince that person to stay with us. And not only that, in this scenario, they've never even been to the destination. We convince them that this is where they should visit. Okay. Now, resorts and vacation rental in particular, also resorts, have benefited from, the people that like to, the travel patterns of the older generations who like to go back to the same place. All right. So some people call them the silent generation or the traditionalists, which was the generation prior to baby boomers. They in particular like to go to the same place at the same month during the same week to rent the same home or stay in the same room with the same view. Baby boomers, well, we kind of fell into that pattern as well. But you get down to the Gen Xers, particularly millennials, and certainly Generation Z afterwards, they want to try something new. So the future of the resort business is finding future repeat guests. They're probably not coming back every year, okay? So we're gonna have to work harder for the bookings in the future. Now, the good news is, while those millennials and those Gen Xers are staying with you, they're gonna put a lot on social media, all right? I have a cousin right now that's in Kenya on a safari, and I'm seeing those pictures and I'm thinking, that looks pretty cool. I think I'm gonna have to look into that. But we got to get them there the first time. And that is why we want to ask questions. That is why we have to sell the destination, the location, and the amenities and services, and not the upside down value pyramid where we just quote a price. They're not going to say, hey, can you convince me to stay there and tell me why your resort is better than anyone else's? That's not the way this goes down. They're going to say, hello, what is your price? Okay, we got to turn that around to a conversation by engaging them in questions. All right. So that's really our value pyramid. Now, if you join us for other webinars in the past, and if you're new to Track or you're new to Resorts and Lodges, please stay tuned because we do rotate through topics again and again. We have another one coming up very soon, and I will address these other topics, or you can go back to the Resorts and Lodges blog. I know Jay will send you a link to that. If you can't find it on your own, you should be able to find it on your own. I write monthly blogs. I also have a YouTube channel, Kennedy Training Network. Search that up on YouTube, and you will get more information on these three areas. So you can read about these in our blogs, see them on other webinars, or visit on YouTube. As we describe the value pyramid, okay, in summary, I call this using a storytelling approach. Now, the number one theme in website marketing, okay, and Resorts and Lodges does a great job at that, is to tell a story on your website. So we want that story to say, to be continued when you call. And when you call, if we've unmasked to find out who they are and why they're calling, now we tell the story of that person enjoying the resort experience while staying with us, the vacation experience. So 3 different ways that we talk about throughout our themes with KTN, the Just For You storytelling approach. That is simply to be a you seller, not a we seller. Rather than saying we have, we offer, we offer, we want to say you can enjoy, you can take advantage of, your family will love, your kids will enjoy, your parents will find this to be fantastic. All right. Next, the visually and emotionally descriptive language, that is to give a little flair in our wording. All right. A lot of us fall back to comfort words. We become beautiful, nice, great sellers. What's it like? Oh, it's really beautiful. It's nice. It's great. Beautiful. It's nice. Great. How's the view? Beautiful. It's nice. It's great. How's the food in the restaurant? Oh, it's really great. Okay. Now, I know we have a lot of my friends from the South, and everything there's awesome. Food is awesome. View's awesome. Out west, it's like, oh, it's very chill. It's very chill. But up in the Northeast, it's wicked good. The view is wicked good. All right. But what we want to do is we want to use words that evoke some imagery. All right. And so to do that, we want to up our game on language that we use. So please take time to read your website copy. Please take time to read travel reviews written by those travel writers or bloggers that come and visit your destinations, and pick up. Leaders, managers have a visual or emotional word of the day. So a visual word would be a spectacular, picturesque, scenic sunset. An emotional word would be a memorable, romantic, relaxing. Okay, so either one is heading in the right direction. Finally, needs-based recommendations, suggestions, and endorsements. So once you find out their story, and they say, actually, I do have a question for you. Which room would you think is the best? Or is this a good choice for families? Or actually, we're getting away from our kids. Our kids just went off to college. That's me right now. Quite frankly, I don't want to be around any kids. Okay, no offense to parents out there, but I paid my dues. Is this a good place for couples looking to get away from their kids? Actually, you might want to book the other building or this room type. Or you talk about the adult pool and the family pool that you have. Well, whatever it is, try to recommend, try to suggest, try to endorse. And this comes down to another theme of a lot of our training and webinars is to have a passion for our destination. Now, many of you are in resort areas where you have a lot of history. You grew up there, you lived there, maybe you moved there, but maybe it was years ago, or maybe you were born in the area. And we never fully appreciate things we see every day. Okay, so take time to look around. Leaders, managers, it's a great time to do what we call a safari or a reservations fam tour, familiarization tour. Get your folks back out, let them go see the accommodations. Now, if you're a spread out resort, they may not go to every room, of course, but even if you're a smaller resort, but every room type, every larger companies, vacation rental companies, at least know the developments, the different areas. Take them on, make it a theme. We do this a lot with our private training. We'd love to come out or have a KTN trainer come out and take your team on a guided familiarization tour or a safari. So make it fun, but get out there, see the views, taste the food, go to that crab shack, have that buffalo burger if you're in the mountains, and take time to really get to know the value that you sell every day. So I want you to think about then our recap today. Callers call up and say, hello, what's the price? If all we do is give the price, we are not selling value. We are having a race to the bottom to have the lowest price. Okay, and surely our jobs will be replaced way soon with Siri, Cortana, Alexa, and Bixby. They will be able to give those prices, which they're very close to doing now. All right, so engage people with conversations. What are your arrival and departure dates? How many adults and children? How many bedrooms? And a couple more questions, if I may. What brings you in? Have you stayed with us before? Oh, wonderful. Click, enter. Hey, as I'm checking availability, is there any questions I can answer for you about our location, amenities, services? And if they say, no, I'm good, pretty much assured later they're going to say, actually, I do have a question. Okay, maybe they have a question now, but either way, you've shown interest. And now when we describe our experience before we give a price, we can tell a story of them enjoying their vacation with us. Okay, and if we do that using the methods we just covered, and then you say, hey, well, I have you on the line, let me lock that in for you now. Hopefully they're going to say, you know what, let's do it. But if they don't, you can say, tell you what, let me get your emails. Tell you what, I'm going to send you a quick follow-up email with my contact information. What's your email address? And then if you have the track system, send them a note, put them on your lead stream, trace them for a follow-up, enter the notes so when they call back, you remember that story. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we sell the value pyramid throughout this process. So I hope this has brought value. We're right on time today, 12:28. Hey, I got to talk 2 more minutes. I hope this brought value to be with our value pyramid, a review of a lot of the basics, but keep in mind, we're selling vacation experiences. We're not renting rooms. We're not booking units. We're in the vacation experience business. So I really appreciate TrackPulse and Track, all the Track field family of software, as well as Resorts and Lodges, for sponsoring this and giving me a chance to join you today. I hope you have a great rest of your fall season. Ski resorts, you're up next. Let's make it a great 2019 season as well. Thanks so much, and I'll turn it back to you, Jay.
Thank you very much, Doug, and thank you to everyone who joined us today. If you have any questions or are interested in learning more about our resortsanдлodges.com and Track Solutions, please contact us at marketing@resortsanдлodges.com. Have a great day, everyone.